Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue and I am back with another 911 review, y'all. All right. This episode picks up where we left off 2 weeks ago, which was with the guy who robbed and beat up Josh, Greg, taking over the 911 call center with this really creepy looking bald dude who was a part of the whole plot to get Josh's key card. Okay, that's what this all was about. Okay, and we had no idea that it went this deep, but the 911 writers are A1. The episode starts off with a lot of officers, about 5 police officers, so we think, showing up to the 911 call center, but really it's Greg and his team of armed robbers. Okay, apparently they've done this before. First, they get to the guy at the desk first, okay? The security guard lets the cops in, which I thought was so weird. Why would you go to the desk guy first so that you can get the security guard to come in and then you can knock him over the head, beat him up, and shoot him, and then escort the desk guy upstairs with the rest of the people? I mean, you could have just done that as soon as you walked into the door. I was so confused. Maddie gets into work. She's on the phone with Chimney when Greg and his crew take over the 911 call center. And she's on the phone and she's like, "I love you, Howie." And then she hangs up the phone. And we know they had a long conversation the night before about how she didn't want to say "I love you" because before she was using it to try to keep him getting her ass whipped by her ex-husband. So now "I love you" just kind of, isn't something she's in the mood to say. So when she says this to Howie, it's a message. And Howie, being a smart guy that he is at his house. Was that a message? I think that was a message. Let me call Buck. That was a message. So the robbers lock everybody up. Maddie and Josh talk about how he recognized Greg as the guy who beat him up because Maddie had never seen the guy, so she didn't know. But Maddie tells Josh she left a message for Howie. She just hopes that he got it. Then we see they start bringing the dispatchers in 2 at a time to answer 911 calls. The robbers don't want anyone downtown. We don't know why just yet. We just know they don't want anyone downtown. Then there's a car accident downtown. The dispatchers tell the people at the accident that they sent the police their way, but they really didn't. Athena just so happened to be driving down that same street and rolled up on the accident, and they said the police were coming. She talks to dispatch. Dispatch sends her to a fight or some disorderly conduct situation. When she gets to the scene, there are 4 other police officers that are already there to break up a 2-person fight. So at this point, Athena is starting to wonder what the hell is going on. Why would dispatch send all of these police officers to a 2-person fight? The robbers that are dressed as cops take over an art museum that was just a few blocks away from that car accident that Athena ran into. Greg is saying little slick stuff to Josh, things that he had said to him while they were dating, it's just terrible. Then the desk guy tells Maddie and Josh, who, are all being kept in this little room while they're like rotating 2 out ever so often to make sure that nobody comes up with a plan, right? So the desk guy tells them that they already killed Jake, the security guard, when they came and got him. So now everybody's scared. Chimney is on the phone with Buck, and then Athena shows up to his apartment just as he's about to leave to go down to the 911 call center to see what the hell is going on, since Maddie is no longer answering any of his phone calls. She's not answering Buck's either. Athena says obviously something is going on. Let's go take a ride. Buck can't just stay home, so he hops in his car and speeds up to meet with them. Athena pulls him over and he gets in a car with her and Chimney as they head down to the 911 call center to see what the hell is going on. Meanwhile, Greg is losing his shit because the driver, Tiffany, and the other robbers are taking too long to get all of the art out of the frames because the frames have GPS trackers in them. Athena, Buck, and Chimney get to the 911 call center garage. They're being seen on the cameras by the robbers. Athena goes into the building knowing that they're probably watching, but if she goes upstairs without a problem, then everything is fine. So she goes into the 911 call center building. There's a guy pretending to be Jake, the security guard. He tells her she can go up, but when he gets a message from the robbers upstairs that are watching her on the monitors, one of the guys tells him to kill her. This bald guy that's really crazy and creepy and just hell-bent on killing somebody or ending up dying. You can already see it in his future that he's gonna end up dead. Greg doesn't want to kill a cop. They want to be able to get out of jail in 2 to 5, okay? And if they kill a cop, they're never going to get out of jail. They may not even make it out alive if Athena ends up dead. So Greg and the other robbers are like, no, don't shoot her. Sue Maddie's boss, says, wait a minute, I can get her to leave. So Sue gets on the radio and tells Athena it's a code 77. Athena says, okay, well, I guess I'll have to come back later. And she walks out and goes and gets into her car, and they're driving away, and she's on the phone with her captain, telling her captain that, yeah, they know I was in there because Sue gave me the code 77, which was code for ambush, proceed with caution. The bald guy, like I told y'all, hell bent on killing somebody, okay? So he and another crew member get into a fight, which makes the desk guy try to run and pull the fire alarm, but the bald guy starts shooting. Josh hits the gun and the bald guy misses the desk guy. I'm sorry I didn't catch anybody's name. Okay, like this is the story. Greg catches the desk guy, hits him with the butt of his gun, drags him away, and they also beat the shit out of Josh and drag him away. Greg tries to check in with Tiffany and she says she needs an additional 30 minutes. Greg loses his shit. Maddie is trying to come up with a plan, but she can't think of anything to do with this many people there. Athena and her captain get SWAT and everybody else they can find to come and help them keep the element of surprise and get those people out of that building safely. They know that there are 5 fake cops inside, and they get a former 911 call center dispatch to help them, and Athena reviews the call log to find the first piece of the puzzle. We haven't been made to know what that is just yet. So back inside, the robbers are noticing that all of the police cars have disappeared from their view. The bald guy says, hey, let's get out of here. Let's cut our losses. I got a car waiting for us down on the corner. The other guy is like, oh, so you was gonna double cross Greg no matter what. He was like, yeah, weren't you? I was like, no honor amongst thieves out this motherfucker. So they tell the guys at the art museum to wrap it up, right? So they send a message to Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany, we're going to leave the Van Gogh. We're on our way. We're running to meet you. We're on our way. She's not answering, okay? The girl who's with the van is not answering. They run out there to where the van is supposed to be, and it's Athena and all of these cops. So they arrested the guys that were at the art museum trying to steal the art. Maddie and another employee fake an allergic reaction and end up stabbing Greg with an EpiPen. I was like, oh, is that safe? That didn't look safe. It wasn't safe. When the other crew member comes downstairs to get the rest of the hostages, because he figured if the police are already outside, we can get some hostages and get out of here, right? But as soon as he gets down there, some of the other dispatchers overpower him and take his gun. And now they've got his gun and Greg's gun. So the bald guy comes running in. Sue, the boss, shoots some gunshots at his head and tells him that if he moves, she gonna send the next one in his head. And he had said that earlier to Josh. So it's like, yeah, I got the gun now. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Sue. Yeah, I was excited. The bald guy was working on everybody's damn nerves, even the rest of the crew. Then Greg starts to lose his heartbeat because of that EpiPen situation. So they start trying to do compressions. And Josh is like, no. And we thought Josh was gonna try to kill him. But Josh was like, no, you can't die. You're not gonna die. You're gonna go to jail. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die. I was like, oh Lord. You trying to save him or what? Then SWAT comes in and Greg gets a pulse. So Greg didn't die. And then we see Athena explaining everything to her family. So what actually happened was the thieves took over the call center to dispatch police away from the museum so that they could steal $500 million in art. Athena checked the dispatch logs, and that's when she saw the alarm that went off at the museum earlier when they were trying to get everybody from out of downtown so that they wouldn't go to the museum. Greg was actually secretly hired by Tiffany, the driver, the entire time. Turns out Tiffany had an inside man, Jake the security guard. Oh yes, Jake the security guard isn't dead, you guys. Tiffany ended up falling for him. He was supposed to be her scapegoat the entire time. But since she fell for him, they needed another scapegoat. So Jake the security guard overheard the conversation that Maddie and Josh were having a few episodes ago when he was talking about looking for somebody to love. And that's how they were able to get Greg and the bald guy to trick Josh into going out on that date and jumping him in a cemetery and stealing his ID card only for a second so that they can copy it and use it later on to get into the 911 call center, because if they had stolen it, they would have deactivated the card. So that's why they left his wallet there, because we were all like, I mean, he didn't seem like a nice guy. Why would he leave the wallet? That's why. So after they took over, the entire time that Greg and the rest of the guys are trying to man the 911 call center, Tiffany and Jake escaped with all of the art. They showed up at the train station thinking they was gonna get away, but Athena was already there. She knew. Turns out this was all revenge. The crew had worked together previously, and her dad was the driver, and they left him to die. So she was always gonna screw them as revenge for what they did to her pops. I just kind of feel like, sis, your dad was a criminal. I mean, you just take it on the chin. That's the life we live when we decide to be drivers for art thieves. That's what happens. You might get killed. Ain't no honor amongst these thieves. The funny part was that everybody was lawyering up except for Greg. Greg was like, nah, man, I'm gonna flip on everybody. I'm gonna flip on everybody. That's how they found out about Tiffany, because they didn't even know about her until Greg was in the hospital and told them she was the one who masterminded the whole thing, and she was the one that brought Jake the security guard in. And Jake, turns out he wasn't as perfect as she thought. The only reason they got caught was because his phone had GPS on it. Like, they took all that time removing the GPS from the art, and they got caught because of the GPS in this fool's phone. Hilarious. Seems like a lot of work just to end up in jail for another 10, 15 years. Doesn't seem worth it, does it? I'm just saying. Did I mention that the bald guy ended up getting killed? I didn't mention that. When SWAT took over the building, the bald guy was like, man, y'all ain't about to catch me like this. I ain't going back to jail. So he basically committed suicide by cop. I hate saying that, but that's what he did. I was glad he died. He was working on my nerves. Anybody that's trying that hard to kill somebody else is basically digging their own grave. Karma, bitch. But yeah, y'all, that was 911. It was good, y'all. It was really good. And I love how we see Maddie and Chimney getting closer. And because, you know, he was able to decipher her message and he saved the day and everything, you know she gonna love him even more now. Like, they cute, and I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. Oh, yeah. And Michael seems to be okay. You know, just as far as this episode showed us, Michael is okay. So yeah, y'all, that was 911. Child, this review was a struggle. I hope it ended up all right. Once I finish editing it, I hope it was good. Y'all let me know. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one.